Hi, I'm Paul Van Slyke, and in addition to being the FIS-TD Commissioner for the U.S., I'm also an alpine safety consultant to the Kelly Brush Foundation and to US Ski and Snowboard. Welcome to the Clean Hill Initiative. This is an initiative that we must all take seriously in an effort to provide a cleaner environment for our athletes in training and competition. This is an undertaking to change some of the "we've always done it this way" behaviors and mentalities that exist with regards to our on-hill behavior. We can all work together following some simple themes contained in this presentation to make a huge impact creating an improved field of play. If we can work together to educate and share this information, it will be easy to make a clean hill at your club and at your races. The goal, through small changes in how we behave, we can provide a cleaner field of play for our athletes. In realizing the presence of coaches, officials, and volunteers on a race and training hills, along with their gear, tools, and packs and drills, can pose an effect on the safety of athletes. And with that being said, I'd like to share a few videos over the next several slides that will provide examples of some very close calls with people and objects. This video is of Patricia Mangan and her GS run at the Pyeongchang Olympics. This video will show some clear examples and simple things that may help to create a cleaner hill for the athletes.
A little bit better. For me, it's really big to kick out of the start and not leave anything behind, so I just kind of went for it. It happened pretty quickly. I was like totally normal turn, and then the next thing I was in the air. Initially I was just like, don't hit anything, which I did. But then when I stopped, I was super bummed. Obviously, nobody wants to crash, and I was upset for a little, and then my family and my coach reminded me that it gets pretty incredible to be here. Like, you're at the Olympics, you have to lay it all on the line. It's all super inspiring and definitely makes me want to get as fast as possible and have more opportunities. So I'm really excited for the team event because, yeah, it's another chance to represent the US and hopefully show them the best skiing.
And I'm sure you noticed that the banners broke away as they were intended. The people running away when she hit the loose shovel. And hopefully you noticed that the skis and the packs at the bottom of the nets, and we'll talk about that later in the presentation and what we can do to improve on that. In this video, it's an example of how quickly things happen on a ski course. As a coach, official, course worker, we need to be present to do our jobs. And the question is, how can we adapt our behavior to diminish our profile? Close call there. And in this image, you can see coaches trying to get out of the way. There's a drill present, drilled into the snow. The guy in the red jacket, he seemed to be on his cell phone or something, and that's quite common. I mean, with live timing and electronic formats, people are constantly on their phones and distracted. And this is another example of how quickly things can happen. This is Super G, as you can see from the double die lines. And clearly, the coaches were trying to get the best video location, and I'm sure they thought this was good. However, they changed their spot after this incident. Thankfully, the athlete was not seriously hurt. And as you can see, the coaches were able to stay clear, though they were not able to take their packs or skis or any other items that happened to be there inside the B-nets. And this is another example of an incident where we see a coach barely making it out of the path of a fallen athlete, but then proceeds to hit the coach's gear. Note the guy with the shovel, probably a course worker. This is a visual of a point yet to come later in the presentation. And you can see here, if the coach had been 2 or 3 feet to his left, he probably would have been hit by the athlete. Now, if this coach had had his gear outside the field of play, this athlete would not have hit anything, well, except maybe the slow reacting coach. And here's another example of a quick and unexpected impact. Athlete seems to be having a tough day staying online and continues to get lower in the track as he approaches the finish line and proceeds to take out the finish line. And thankfully the athlete was okay, and the hand timers were on the opposite side of the track as they should have been for that day. We need to start here. This is what our culture currently allows: skis, packs, drills, people close to the course. Can we do better? Sure we can, and we must. When a skier down event occurs and it's all so close, this can happen very easily. Thankfully, the course workers had their tools in hand and they were able to move quickly out of the way, though the drill here in the center of the photo did not move. And then the impact happened. Everyone's seen this. This is from the Olympics a few years ago, and this is a practice that we must stop. A drill left in the snow, whether it be drilled in at an angle or drilled in plumb as in this example, needs to not continue to happen in the future. When a drill with an aluminum bit, or any other type of bit for that matter, is hit, regardless of what angle it is drilled into the snow, it's going to hurt the athlete when impacted. So what can we do? We can move tools and equipment to a place unlikely to be impacted by an athlete. We can move our packs, skis, and equipment and make sure they're always behind the fences. What else can we do? Certainly not this. We can improve on this greatly. And the same thing here. Let's all work together to get the equipment behind the fences. What can we do? Definitely not this. We should strive for this. Very clean hill. No extra gear, drills are in a holster, skis and packs outside the fences. If you're a ski racer, this is a beautiful environment. Other simple things that we see and can improve, and here the example is of the flipped gates. And we see this commonly when we have two genders competing in slalom, where the women are on one course, the men are on another. The women run their first run, and once that's completed, the men start their first run. And while the men are running, course workers and coaches will flip the gates over and leave them staged for the second run course setter. This is a practice that we should refrain from. These become rigid obstacles for a falling athlete or a sliding athlete, and the upside down poles, if they're impacted by a prone athlete that may ski out of the other course, could hit those bases with their head or body, and for sure that's not going to be a good situation. So best practice here would be to either remove the gates completely or leave them in so that their hinging mechanism will work properly. A few things to note here: skis and packs behind the fence in a location that a racer is likely not to impact. Spare gate leaning against the net rather than staged upside down. Oftentimes you see them staged upside down in a cluster, and those really become a problem for a sliding or falling athlete. And here's the angle drill example. It doesn't matter how you have it drilled in, and we'll hit on this topic a little later in the presentation. And you definitely don't want to see abandoned skis left on the hill. And in this picture you see some really good behavior and some of the themes that we want you to take forward after seeing this presentation. The drill in a holster, and if it's not in your holster, it's in your hand or it's in your pack outside of the arena. Coaches, when staged on the hill, do not all need to have a drill, even in slalom. They can work together as a team, having 1 or 2 holster drills to help fix the course issues that may arise, and the rest can pitch in to replace broken or displaced poles. Tools, of course we need them, though they should not be left leaning on the fences or behind the nets unattended. When using a tool, it should be kept in hand. When done with the tool and repairs have been completed, the tool should be sent back to the start with a slipper or course worker so it can be dispatched again for other course repairs. How effective can we be? This is a great example for me. This was a day after I gave a presentation to this group of coaches, a slalom presentation that touched on many of these themes. I encourage the coaches to move their equipment behind the nets and to step back 15 to 20 meters away from the course rather than being right next to the course. This made a huge impact on the coaches. Not used to being so far away, and at the same time they found it easier to video when they were further away. And look at the open space. You know, for an athlete, visually, wouldn't this be inviting? And this is the 3rd time I've showed this slide, but it's just a reminder that we've got a ways to go, and if we work hard, we can make a change. And here's another example of why we need to take action. Clearly, no one had a chance to move. This is what we need to strive for. Lots of space. Equipment behind the fences, drills in the holsters, coaches further away from the course. And here's another great example of a very clean hill. People outside the fences, no extra materials on the hill, coaches spaced fairly good distance away from the course. Yet again, another really good example. And in summary, move tools and equipment to a place unlikely to be impacted by an athlete. Put your pack, skis, and any equipment, always put it behind the fences. And if you see something not right, fix it if you know how, or tell the jury or the head coach so they can address the situation. In drills, they should be in a holster, in a hand, or in a pack outside of the arena. Tools, rakes, shovels, they should be in hand, being used, or they should be sent back to the start when the work is complete so that they can be dispatched for another mission. It's a team effort to manage the field of play. We all play a role. We must pay attention and be cognizant of others' behaviors. We need to educate others, raise the bar of expectations on those present on our competition and training slopes. Please share this presentation with all your alpine friends, and let's make an effort to use these simple themes to make the Clean Hill Initiative a huge success. Best wishes to you for a healthy and successful season, and thank you very much.